The day the first message came, nobody thought much of it. It popped up on TV screens during the morning news, looking like a bunch of weird symbols. The news anchors laughed it off, thinking it was just a prank by some clever hackers. "Looks like someone's been watching too many alien movies," joked Sarah, the weather lady, as she pointed to the sunny forecast. But then things got weirder. The same day, millions of phones buzzed with a text that read, "Greetings, Earthlings. This is the Galactic Council. Prepare for evaluation." Most people thought it was a new viral marketing campaign for a sci-fi movie or video game. Tommy, a 12-year-old boy in New York, showed the message to his mom. "Cool. Are we getting invaded by aliens?" he asked excitedly. His mom rolled her eyes. "It's just spam, honey. Delete it and finish your homework." As the week went on, the messages kept coming. They appeared on billboards, popped up in emails, and even interrupted radio shows. Each time, they claimed to be from this Galactic Council and talked about Earth joining some big space club. The internet exploded with memes and jokes. People dressed up as silly-looking aliens and made dance videos. Tina, a college student, got millions of views for her video where she pretended to be a grumpy alien complaining about Earth's Wi-Fi. "Dear Galactic Council," she said in a funny voice, "Earth's internet is too slow. How am I supposed to watch cat videos at light speed?" Even world leaders got in on the fun. The President of the United States tweeted, "To our alien friends, if you want to visit, you'll need to go through customs like everyone else." Scientists tried to figure out where the messages were coming from, but they couldn't trace them. Some serious-looking people on TV talked about the possibility of real alien contact, but most folks just laughed at them. "Yeah, right," said Bob, a truck driver, as he watched the news at a diner. "And I'm the king of Mars." Schools had fun with it too. Mrs. Johnson's third-grade class had an alien day where kids made tin-foil hats and drew pictures of what they thought the Galactic Council might look like. Little Emma drew a picture of a purple alien eating a pizza. "I bet aliens would love pepperoni," she said, showing off her artwork. As days turned into weeks, people started getting creative with their responses to the aliens. A famous rock band released a song called "Hey There, Spaceman" that topped the charts. The chorus went, "Hey there, spaceman, what you gonna do? Earth's not ready for a cosmic zoo." Television shows had special episodes about alien invasions. Late-night comedians couldn't stop making jokes about the Galactic Council. One of them said, "I hope these aliens are better at invading than they are at sending clear messages. Maybe they should try emailing us instead." Some people tried to communicate back to the aliens in funny ways. A group of college students in Australia made a giant smiley face in a field, visible from the sky. In Japan, a tech company created an app that let people send jokes to space. "Maybe if we make the aliens laugh, they'll be our friends," said Hiroshi, the app creator. Even though most people thought it was all a big joke, a few took it seriously. Some folks built bunkers or stocked up on canned food, just in case. They were called space preppers by their laughing neighbors. Old Mr. Jenkins, known for always predicting the end of the world, stood on street corners with a sign that read, "The aliens are coming. Repent now." Most people just walked by, shaking their heads and chuckling. As a month passed, the messages started to sound a bit annoyed. One said, "Earth, your lack of response is concerning. This is not a joke." But by then, people were so used to laughing at these messages that they thought this was the funniest one yet. A popular social media challenge called SAS the Space Council went viral. People posted videos of themselves giving snarky replies to the alien messages. Grandma Betty became an internet sensation when her granddaughter posted a video of her saying, "Listen here, Mr. Alien. I've been alive for 92 years, and I ain't got time for your space nonsense." News channels started having daily segments called Message from Space, where they'd share the latest alien communication and have comedians make fun of it. It became everyone's favorite part of the day. Even world governments joined in on the fun. The Canadian Prime Minister jokingly appointed a Minister of Alien Affairs who held press conferences wearing antenna headbands. As all this was happening, nobody noticed the small, strange objects that started appearing in the sky at night. They were too busy laughing and making jokes. Earth had decided that aliens were the funniest thing ever, and nothing was going to change their minds. Little did they know, up in space, real aliens were watching. And they weren't laughing at all. It was just another normal Tuesday. People were going about their day, still chuckling about the alien messages that had become part of daily life. But at exactly 12 o'clock noon, everything changed. The sky suddenly got dark, as if someone had turned off the sun. People looked up, confused. Then they saw it, a massive spaceship, bigger than any city, hovering over New York. For a moment, the whole world went silent. Then chaos erupted. "Oh my God, it's real," screamed a hot dog vendor in Times Square, dropping his tongs. All over the world, more ships appeared. They popped up over London, Tokyo, Moscow, and every major city. They were shaped like giant silver discs, just like in the movies people had been joking about for weeks. TV channels switched to emergency broadcasts. News anchors who had been laughing about aliens just yesterday now looked pale and scared. "This is not a drill," said a shaky-voiced reporter. "I repeat, this is not a drill. Alien ships have appeared worldwide." In schools, kids pressed their faces against windows, eyes wide with wonder and fear. Teachers tried to stay calm, but many were just as shocked as their students. "I told you aliens were real," yelled Tommy, the same boy who had shown his mom the first message. His mom didn't reply. She was too busy staring at the sky, her mouth hanging open. World leaders rushed to their offices, not sure what to do. The President of the United States, who had been joking about alien customs just days ago, now sat in the Oval Office, sweat on his forehead as he tried to write a speech. Social media exploded. The same people who had been posting funny alien memes were now sharing panicked messages and live videos of the ships. The Space Council Challenge creators frantically deleted their videos, hoping the aliens hadn't seen them. Old Mr. Jenkins, the doomsday predictor, ran through the streets yelling, "I was right. Why didn't you listen?" For once, nobody was laughing at him. As people ran around in panic, the ships just hovered silently. They didn't attack. They didn't land. They just waited. After 3 hours of this tense standoff, something new happened. Every screen on Earth, TVs, phones, computers, even digital billboards, suddenly showed the same image. It was a face, but not a human one. The alien had blue skin, big eyes, and no nose. "People of Earth," it said in a deep, echoing voice, "we are the Galactic Council. We have been trying to contact you for weeks. Your mockery of our messages has been disappointing." People around the world watched, frozen in shock. The alien continued, "We came to evaluate your planet for membership in our galactic community. Instead, we found a world that treats serious matters as jokes. We are not amused." In living rooms, offices, and streets, humans looked at each other with growing horror. All those funny memes and jokes suddenly didn't seem so funny anymore. The alien's face disappeared, replaced by a view of Earth from space. Red circles appeared around areas where humans had made giant, silly signs or messages for the fake aliens. "Did you think we wouldn't see these?" the alien voice asked. The image zoomed in on the giant smiley face made in an Australian field. "What is the meaning of this crude symbol?" In Australia, the college students who had made the smiley face tried to hide under their desks. Next, the screen showed clips from TV shows and late-night comedians making fun of the alien messages. With each clip, people cringed harder. "Is this how you prepare for first contact with an advanced civilization?" the alien asked, sounding like a disappointed teacher. The alien's face reappeared on the screens. "We had high hopes for humanity. your art, your music, your capacity for innovation. These things impressed us. But your response to our contact has left us uncertain. Around the world, the mood shifted from fear to shame. People who had been laughing just hours ago now felt very, very small. However, the alien continued, "We are not without mercy. We will give you one chance to prove your worth." Everyone held their breath, waiting to hear what this test would be. "You have 7 Earth days to show us why we should take you seriously. Impress us with your wisdom, your unity, your potential. If you fail," the alien paused dramatically, "well, let's just say the joke will be over." With that, the screens went blank. The ships remained in the sky, silent watchers over a now very quiet Earth. In the stunned silence that followed, reality sank in. Aliens were real. They weren't happy, and humanity had 1 week to save itself. People looked at each other, the same thought on everyone's mind. What do we do now? In New York, Tommy turned to his mom. "Still think it was spam?" he asked. His mom just shook her head, still staring at the sky. As night fell, nobody slept. The world that had been laughing was now holding its breath, wondering what the next 7 days would bring. The Galactic Council was watching, and this time, no one felt like making jokes. The world woke up the next day, feeling like it was in a dream. But the huge spaceships still floating in the sky proved it wasn't. Earth had 6 days left to impress the aliens. At exactly 9:00 a.m., every screen on the planet lit up again. The blue alien face appeared, looking stern. "Humans," it said, "here is your challenge. Show us you can solve problems bigger than yourselves. We have hidden 3 artifacts on your planet. Find them, understand them, and use them together. This will prove you're ready to join the galactic community." The alien paused, then added, "Oh, and one more thing. These artifacts, they're in the 3 most dangerous places on your planet. Good luck." The screen went dark. For a moment, there was silence. Then everyone started talking at once. World leaders called emergency meetings. Scientists huddled in labs, trying to figure out what the aliens meant by most dangerous places. Regular people took to the streets, some scared, some excited. "We're doomed," yelled a man in London, running in circles. "No, we're not," shouted back a young woman. "We can do this." In Washington, D.C., the president stood behind a podium, looking serious. "My fellow Americans and citizens of the world," he said, his voice shaky but determined. "We face the greatest challenge in human history, but we will face it together." For the first time ever, all countries agreed to work as one. Even nations that were usually enemies shook hands and promised to help each other. Scientists from around the world shared their ideas freely. They thought the most dangerous places might mean 1. The deepest part of the ocean. 2. The hottest desert. 3. The coldest place in Antarctica. Teams were quickly put together to search these areas, but they faced big problems. In the ocean, a submarine dove deeper than ever before. Inside, the crew felt the pressure building. "If this ship cracks, we're goners," muttered the captain, sweating despite the cold. In the desert, a group trudged through sand so hot it melted their boot soles. "Water, need water," gasped one scientist, her lips cracked and bleeding. And in Antarctica, a team shivered in the icy wind, their special suits barely keeping them alive. -100 degrees, stammered a researcher, checking the thermometer. "Any colder, and we'll freeze solid." Back in cities, people watched the rescue attempts on big screens. They held their breath every time a team faced danger. When the desert team nearly got swallowed by a sandstorm, people in New York's Times Square gasped all together. Kids got involved too. Schools had special classes to talk about the challenge. In one classroom, little Emma, who had drawn the pizza-eating alien before, raised her hand. "Teacher," she asked, "why don't we just ask the aliens for hints?" The teacher smiled sadly. I don't think they want to make it that easy for us, Emma. As days passed, hope started to fade. The teams searched and searched, but found nothing. Some people started to panic. "We should just give up," yelled a man on TV. "Maybe if we say sorry, the aliens will go easy on us." But others disagreed. "No way," shouted a teenage girl at a rally. "Humans have done amazing things before. We can do this too." The aliens watched silently from their ships. Nobody knew what they were thinking. On the 5th day, with time running out, something amazing happened. The ocean team's submarine light flashed off something shiny. In the desert, a scientist tripped over a strange metal object poking out of the sand, and in Antarctica, a radar ping showed something buried deep in the ice. "We found them." The news spread like wildfire. People danced in the streets, hugging strangers in joy. But their happiness didn't last long, because now came the hard part: understanding the artifacts. The objects were brought to a special lab. Top scientists from every country gathered around, scratching their heads. "It looks like a puzzle box," said one, turning the ocean artifact in her hands. "This one's giving off weird energy," said another, pointing at the desert object. "And this," said a third, frowning at the Antarctica artifact. "I think it's alive." As the final day dawned, humanity faced its biggest test. They had found the artifacts, but could they understand them? And even if they did, how were they supposed to use them together? The whole world held its breath. In homes, offices, and streets, people whispered the same prayer: "Please, let us figure this out." Up in their ships, the aliens watched and waited. The clock was ticking. Earth had less than 24 hours to solve the puzzle and prove its worth to the Galactic Council. With only 24 hours left, the world's smartest people huddled around the 3 alien artifacts in a high-tech lab. They poked, prodded, and scanned the objects, but nothing made sense. "It's hopeless," groaned Dr. Smith, a famous scientist, wiping sweat from his forehead. "These things are too advanced. We'll never figure them out in time." But just then, something unexpected happened. A cleaning lady named Maria, who was quietly mopping the floor nearby, spoke up. "Excuse me," she said shyly, "but that shiny one looks like my grandmother's puzzle box." The scientists turned and stared at her. Dr. Smith frowned. "This is alien technology, not some toy," he said. But a younger scientist named Dr. Lee was curious. "Wait," she said, "let's hear her out." "Maria, what do you mean?" Maria stepped closer, looking at the ocean artifact. "See these patterns? My grandmother's box had similar ones. You had to press them in the right order to open it." The scientists looked at each other, then back at the artifact. "Could it be that simple?" "It's worth a try," said Dr. Lee. She carefully pressed the patterns like Maria suggested. Suddenly, the artifact lit up and started humming. "You did it." Everyone cheered. Maria blushed, surprised that her simple idea had worked. News of this breakthrough spread fast. All over the world, regular people started offering ideas. Maybe, they thought, the aliens wanted to see everyone working together, not just the smartest few. In Japan, a young gamer named Hiro was watching a live stream of the desert artifact. "Hey," he typed in the chat, "those energy patterns look like levels in my favorite puzzle game." The scientists saw his message and decided to try his gaming approach. Amazingly, it worked. The desert artifact started glowing and floating. Now, 2 artifacts were active, but the Antarctica one was still a mystery. Scientists said it seemed alive, but they couldn't communicate with it. That's when Tommy, the boy who had believed in aliens from the start, had an idea. He was watching the news with his mom when he jumped up excitedly. "Mom, remember how you said my pet hamster was alien-like because of his weird squeaks? What if this alive artifact talks like that?" Tommy's mom quickly called the lab to share her son's idea. The scientists were desperate enough to try anything. They'd brought in animal communication experts who used special equipment to analyze the artifact's vibrations. To everyone's surprise, they found a pattern. "It's like a language," said one expert, "but not like any animal on Earth." As the final hours ticked by, people around the world held their breath. In every country, humans of all ages and backgrounds were glued to their screens, watching the scientists work. In New York's Times Square, a huge crowd had gathered. Among them was old Mr. Jenkins, the doomsday predictor, now holding a sign that said, "Humans can do it." With just 1 hour left, the scientists finally cracked the code of the third artifact. It lit up like the others, making a sound like a happy purr. But they still didn't know how to use them together, as the aliens had said. That's when little Emma, the girl who had drawn the pizza-eating alien, spoke up from the crowd in Times Square. Her voice was picked up by a news microphone. "Why don't they try holding hands?" she asked innocently. "That's what my teacher says we should do to work together." The idea was so simple, so human, that the scientists almost missed it. But Dr. Lee heard Emma's suggestion on the live feed and decided to try it. "Everyone," she called out, "let's form a circle around the artifacts and join hands." The team did as she said. As their hands connected, something magical happened. The 3 artifacts rose into the air, spinning and glowing brightly. They merged into a single, beautiful orb of light. A hologram appeared above the orb, showing a map of the galaxy. Earth was marked with a glowing star, connected to thousands of other worlds. Just as the 24-hour deadline hit, the alien face appeared on screens again. But this time, it was smiling. "Congratulations, humans," it said. "You have passed the test. Not just with your intelligence, but with your creativity, teamwork, and the unique way you see the universe." Cheers erupted around the world. In Times Square, strangers hugged and danced. Old Mr. Jenkins cried happy tears. Maria, the cleaning lady, got high fives from top scientists. Tommy and Emma were hailed as heroes by their classmates. The alien continued, "You've shown us that Earth has something special to offer the galaxy. Your challenge isn't over, but now you're ready for the next step." As the alien ships began to descend for their first official landing, humanity realized that their greatest adventure was just beginning. They had faced an impossible challenge and, by working together, had become something greater than they ever imagined. The whole world held its breath, excited and a little scared, ready to meet their new galactic neighbors face to face. The day after Earth passed the big test, the alien ships finally landed. People gathered in huge crowds to watch, both excited and nervous. In New York's Central Park, the biggest ship touched down softly on the grass. A door opened slowly, and out stepped the blue alien they had seen on screens. He, or maybe it was a she, it was hard to tell, was much taller in person. Behind the blue alien came others, some green, some purple, some with tentacles, some with wings. The President of the United States stepped forward, his knees shaking a little. "Welcome to Earth," he said, holding out his hand. The blue alien looked at the hand, confused. Then it remembered its research and shook it awkwardly. "Greetings, humans. I am Zorb, leader of the Galactic Council." Suddenly, a little girl pushed through the crowd. It was Emma, the one who had suggested holding hands. She ran right up to Zorb and hugged his leg. Everyone gasped. But Zorb just laughed. A weird, bubbly sound. "I like this small human," he said. "She is not afraid." That broke the ice. Soon, humans and aliens were talking, laughing, and trying to understand each other. It was weird, but in a good way. Over the next few days, aliens and humans started to become friends. Some funny things happened. In Tokyo, a sushi chef tried to teach a tentacled alien how to use chopsticks. It was a hilarious mess, but they both had fun. In Rio de Janeiro, a group of aliens joined a soccer game. They were really good, mostly because they could float a little. In Paris, an alien tried to climb the Eiffel Tower, thinking it was some kind of antenna. Tourists couldn't stop taking pictures. But it wasn't all fun and games. The Galactic Council had serious things to discuss with Earth's leaders. "You have potential," Zork told them in a big meeting. "But you also have problems. Wars, pollution, inequality. These things must change if you want to join the galactic community." The leaders looked ashamed. They knew Earth wasn't perfect, but then something surprising happened. A young alien named Blorp stepped forward. "But Earth has good things too," it said. "Their music makes me feel funny inside. And have you tried this ice cream? It's amazing." Other aliens nodded. One said, "I like how they always try to make jokes, even when things are bad." Another added, "And they're so creative. Did you see their movies?" Zorp looked thoughtful. "You're right," he said. "Humans are interesting. Perhaps we can learn from each other." And so, a new plan was made. Some aliens would stay on Earth to help humans solve their big problems, and some humans would go to alien planets to learn new things. Of course, not everyone was happy about this. Some humans were still scared of the aliens, and some aliens thought humans were too wild and unpredictable. In a small town in Texas, a group of people protested. "Go back to space," they yelled, holding up signs. But then something funny happened. An alien walked up to the protest, looking confused. "But I am from space," it said. "Where should I go back to?" The protesters didn't know what to say. Then one of them started laughing, and soon everyone joined in, even the alien. Meanwhile, the first group of humans got ready to visit an alien planet. There was Tommy, who had believed in aliens from the start; Maria, the cleaning lady who solved the first artifact; and Dr. Lee, the scientist who listened to everyone's ideas. As they got on the alien ship, Tommy turned to Maria. "Are you scared?" he asked. Maria smiled. "A little," she said, "but mostly excited. Think of all the new things we'll learn." Dr. Lee nodded. "And think of all we can teach them," she added. "Earth may have problems, but we also have love, art, and kindness." As the ship took off, people cheered and waved. Aliens waved back with hands, tentacles, and wings. It was a new beginning for everyone. Back in New York, Emma watched the ship disappear into the sky. She turned to her new friend, a small green alien named Zip. "Do you think they'll be okay up there?" she asked. Zip made a sound like a whistle. "Of course," it said. "The galaxy is big, but friendship is bigger." Emma smiled. She didn't fully understand what that meant, but it sounded nice. As the sun set on this amazing day, Earth was changed forever. It wasn't just a lonely planet anymore. It was part of something much bigger. There would be challenges ahead, but also incredible adventures. Humans looked up at the stars that night and, for the first time, didn't feel alone. The universe was full of new friends, just waiting to be met. And Earth, with all its flaws and wonders, had something special to offer. The story of humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. 6 months had passed since the aliens first landed on Earth. Things were going well, but everyone knew there was still one final challenge to face. Zorp, the blue alien leader, called a big meeting in New York. "Humans," he said, his big eyes blinking, "you've done well so far. But there's one last test to prove you're ready to join the Galactic Council fully." The room went quiet. What could this test be? Zork continued. "There's a planet called Nexus 9. It's in trouble. A giant asteroid is heading straight for it. Your job is to save that planet." Gasps filled the room. Save a whole planet? How could they do that? "But," said the president, "we've never even left our own solar system. How can we save a planet we can't reach?" Zorp smiled, which looked weird on his blue face. "That's part of the test. You'll use our ships to get there, but the solution, that must be your own." Scientists from all over Earth started working right away. They had 1 month to come up with a plan and save Nexus 9. In a big lab in Switzerland, Dr. Lee, who had visited alien planets, worked with scientists from 50 countries. They had ideas, but nothing seemed good enough. "What if we blow up the asteroid?" suggested a Russian scientist. "Too risky," said Dr. Lee. "The pieces could still hit the planet." Days passed. The whole world watched and waited. In schools, kids made projects about saving planets. On TV, experts argued about the best plans. 2 weeks before the deadline, something unexpected happened. A video from a small village in Africa went viral. It showed kids playing a game where they used a long stick to knock a ball away from a goal. Tommy, the boy who is now famous for believing in aliens, saw the video. It gave him an idea. He called Dr. Lee right away. "What if," he said excitedly, "instead of destroying the asteroid, we just knock it off course? Like in the game." Dr. Lee's eyes went wide. "Tommy, you're a genius." The idea spread fast. Scientists worked day and night to make it happen. They designed a huge space stick, a giant rod attached to a powerful spaceship. But there was a problem. The stick had to hit the asteroid at exactly the right spot and with the right force. One tiny mistake, and Nexus 9 would be doomed. That's when Maria, the former cleaning lady who was now a respected problem solver, had an idea. "We need a really good gamer," she said. "Someone who's great at timing and precision." They found Hiro, the Japanese gamer who had helped solve the artifact puzzle. He was brought to the control center to operate the space stick. The day of the mission came. Humans and aliens all over the galaxy watched. The stakes were high. If they failed, a whole planet of aliens would be destroyed, and Earth would lose its chance to join the Galactic Council. Hiro sat at the controls, looking nervous but determined. "It's just like a game," he muttered to himself. "A game where millions of lives depend on me. No pressure." The ship approached the massive asteroid. Everyone held their breath. Hiro's hands moved over the controls. "Now," shouted Dr. Lee. Hiro pressed the button. The giant space stick swung out. For a heart-stopping moment, it looked like it would miss. But then, it hit the asteroid perfectly. The huge rock shuddered and slowly began to turn away from its deadly path. The control room erupted in cheers. Hiro fell back in his chair, exhausted but grinning. They had done it. As the asteroid drifted harmlessly into space, the aliens of Nexus 9 sent a message. "Thank you, Earth. You have saved our world." Back on Earth, celebrations broke out everywhere. In New York, people danced in the streets. In Tokyo, fireworks lit up the sky. Even in the small African village where the game had inspired the solution, there was a big party. Zorp appeared on screens worldwide, his blue face looking happier than ever. "Congratulations, humans," he said. "You have passed the final test. You didn't just save a planet. You showed creativity, teamwork, and courage. You are now, officially, members of the Galactic Council." The cheers were so loud, some said they could be heard in space. That night, as the world celebrated, Tommy, Maria, and Hiro sat together, looking up at the stars. "We did it," said Tommy. "We're part of the galaxy now." Maria nodded, "And we did it by being ourselves, by using the things that make us human." Hiro grinned. Who knew playing video games could save a planet? As they laughed, a shooting star streaked across the sky. But now they knew it wasn't just a star. It was a whole universe of possibilities, open to them at last. Earth had faced its last big test, and in saving another world, they had found their place among the stars. 5 years had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council. In that short time, humans had become the talk of the galaxy. Aliens couldn't get enough of Earth and its people. Earth's first space restaurant, Taste of Home, opened on a busy space station. Aliens lined up for hours to try pizza, sushi, and tacos. The owner, a former food truck chef from New York, couldn't believe how popular it was. Who knew aliens would go crazy for hot dogs? He laughed, serving a tentacled customer. Human music was a big hit too. Alien DJs played Earth songs at cosmic dance parties. A group of singing aliens even tried to copy Earth boy bands, calling themselves the Meteor Boys. They weren't very good, but everyone thought they were funny. But it wasn't just fun and games. Humans were making a real difference in the galaxy. Remember Dr. Lee? She led a team that solved a 1,000-year-old problem on the planet Zygon. They fixed the planet's wobbly orbit using ideas from spinning tops and hula hoops. Earth physics and children's toys saved the day again, Dr. Lee said with a smile. Maria, the former cleaning lady, became a top diplomat. She was great at helping aliens and humans understand each other. Once, she stopped a war by getting the two alien leaders to try salsa dancing together. It's hard to fight when you're trying not to step on each other's tentacles, she joked. Even kids were changing the galaxy. Emma, now a teenager, started a galaxy-wide pet adoption program. She helped lonely aliens find loving homes for stray space pets. One day, she matched a grumpy old alien with a playful space puppy that looked like a floating cloud. Sometimes, the most unexpected friendships are the best ones, Emma said, watching them play. Hero, the gamer who saved Nexus 9, designed a virtual reality game that let aliens experience life on Earth. It became so popular that some aliens decorated their homes to look like Earth houses, complete with white picket fences. But Earth's rise to fame wasn't always smooth. Some older alien races were jealous of the attention humans got. The Zorbans, a grumpy race of super-smart aliens, complained to the Galactic Council. Humans are too noisy, too messy, and they ask too many questions. They grumbled. That's when Tommy, the boy who first believed in aliens, had an idea. Now a young man, he worked in the Earth Embassy on the Galactic Council's home planet. Tommy invited the Zorban leader to Earth for a special trip. He took him to a quiet forest, then to the top of a snowy mountain, and finally to a peaceful beach at sunset. The Zorban leader was silent for a long time. Then he said, "Perhaps humans do have something to teach us about appreciating the simple things." After that, even the Zorbans started to warm up to humans. Some of them even took vacation days for the first time ever, inspired by Earth's idea of relaxation. As Earth's reputation grew, so did its responsibilities. When a deadly space virus threatened the galaxy, Earth doctors led the way in finding a cure. They used ideas from Earth's own history of fighting diseases. The lead doctor, accepting an award, said, "On Earth, we've learned that the toughest challenges can bring out the best in us." That's true for the whole galaxy, too. Earth also became a place where aliens could make their dreams come true. An alien named Blorp moved to Earth to become a stand-up comedian. His confused reactions to Earth customs became a huge hit. "Why do humans say bless you when someone sneezes?" Blorp asked in one famous routine. "On my planet, we say bless you when someone successfully uses a vending machine." Years went by, and Earth's influence kept growing. Humans were known across the galaxy for their creativity, their kindness, and their ability to find joy in simple things. One day, Zorp visited Earth again. He stood with a group of human leaders, looking out at New York City. Flying cars zoomed between skyscrapers, while aliens and humans walked together in the streets below. "You've come so far," Zorp said, his big eyes twinkling. "When we first contacted you, you thought we were a joke. Now, you're one of the most respected races in the galaxy." The president smiled. "We had good teachers," she said, "and we never lost what makes us human." Just then, they heard a commotion. A group of alien tourists was trying to figure out how to eat hot dogs from a street vendor. Humans were laughing and trying to help, making a mess but having fun. Zorp chuckled, which sounded like bubbles popping. "That," he said, pointing at the happy group, "is why the galaxy needs Earth. You remind us all how to laugh, how to wonder, and how to come together despite our differences." As the sun set on another day, Earth continued to shine as a bright star in the galactic community. It wasn't perfect, but it was perfectly human. And that, it turned out, was exactly what the universe needed.